We were fortunate enough to foster a mama bulldog and her puppies that were seized in one of our cruelty seizures. The mama was a puppy mill dog. She's 4 years old and has had numerous litters. When you spoke to her, she was afraid. And now she rolls over on her back. She trusts us with her puppies.
She smiles.
She smiles.
Yeah.
The change that you see when these animals start coming around and start to trust you and start to come to you instead of you always coming to them, that's the reason that we're all here.
The Pennsylvania SPCA is a unique organization because of the work that we do. We're rescuing animals from cruelty and neglect. We are rehabilitating them medically and behaviorally, and we're finding them forever homes.
PSPCA is the advocate, the leader for animals in the community.
In turn of helping those animals, we're helping the people of our community as well. What makes the Pennsylvania SPCA so special is the capability of handling the sheer amount of neglect and abuse cases, the huge hoarding houses, dog fighting cases.
1,500 chickens and 150 pigeons and 40 rabbits and countless horses.
We can do this large-scale work, and that, it can include dogs like Bingo or a herd of sheep.
We touch the lives of nearly 50,000 animals across the state, and yet, for the animals in our care, we look at them each as individuals.
If it wasn't for the PSPCA, I don't know any other place that these animals would go. I just don't know.
What's most unique here is maybe the atmosphere. It's beautiful, it's kind of breathtaking when you get out of your car.
From the dog's perspective, it's a wonderful place to be. The trees, the green, the birds singing.
A lot of one-on-one with the staff and the animals, and maybe animals that need room to run or those trails to hike.
And we put so much care and pride into figuring out what is the best path for each being that we care for. Does this animal who's currently living in Philadelphia have a better chance at the right home spending time out here in Chester County? Or is the right home for this animal potentially in Montour County or our municipal shelter in Lancaster?
For the dogs that are at Mainline, this is absolutely a healing environment.
Katie and Mark's partnership with the PSPCA has allowed the organizations to really come together, and we couldn't do what we do without the Hembros and people just like them.
Anyone who supports the Pennsylvania SPCA and Mainline know that we see really horrific animal cruelty and neglect cases, and that can be really hard.
Just recently, we had this dog Wednesday come in. This dog is in critical condition. We called our veterinarian, Dr. Royer, at Mainline Animal Rescue, and she rushed to our shelter.
Clearly saw that she needed some critical care, so she came home with me and she traveled back and forth between my home and here at Mainline. She was on IV fluids. She was severely emaciated. She had open wounds all over her body. She was blind, she was deaf. She needed assistance to eat and drink. I was not able to even keep a water bowl in her cage because she would drown in her bowl. She was as close as they come to not making it.
She was awake 48 hours just making sure that this critical animal was going to have the chance to survive. And I think that's such an important thing about the work that we do, is that we really are doing everything we can for each and every individual animal that comes into the shelter.
We scoop them up, we bring them back here, and we hope for the best. And you're kind of sitting by your phone and you're waiting, and you're hoping, and you're checking in on them and trying to make sure, are they gonna make it to their next step?
Slowly, Wednesday's become a completely normal dog. She has gained 47% of her body weight in the last 2.5 weeks. She's now almost 8 pounds. All of her wounds are healing, all of her hair is growing back, so she's a really great case, I think, to see that full circle.
You see an animal who is almost lifeless brought back to life, and these veterinarians really are breathing that life back into these animals themselves, and with the support system of all of the staff, the volunteers, and even the donors, because we couldn't do it without them. We wouldn't be here.
If we weren't here, there would be no one to fight for these animals, no one to focus their efforts on making sure that these animals have a voice and have somebody to save them.
This isn't just a job for everyone who works here, it is a calling.
Being here has taught me the values of a family, and that's support and unconditional love and understanding.
To do this work, you need to embrace and embody public service and put the animals and put the organization before yourself.
Helping the voiceless and stepping up and actually adjusting no matter what it takes to get the animals the help they need.
You have to be able to just offer your heart.
When I get free time, I just sit in front of their cage, give them treats, just let them come to me. It just takes time. Everything just takes time.
So when I think of service, I just think of every amazing person that works here.
It just takes an army to do the work that we do. Our staff and our volunteers and our foster families, they're on call because we really never know what's going to come in the door.
There's been some times over the last few weeks that every single dog kennel, cat cage, nook and cranny at every location across this organization has been full. And yet we got the call, 60 more animals suffering, victims of cruelty, are on their way in. And we don't say no, we just figure it out.
At the end of the day, it comes down to rehabilitating these animals and getting them adopted out.
We heal their hearts from the abandonment, the neglect, all of the other issues that the dogs experience in that world. And then they come here to this wonderful place and they get a happy ending. It's what we live for.
I think as human beings, we really are looking for miracles in our life, and we get to see miracles every day. And I can't think of anything better than that.